Alright, today we are going to talk about uh, basically multiplying by powers of 10. I guess also exactly what powers of 10 are. Um, so let's just get to it. Um, so, as you can see, there are equations here. I guess they're not equations, expressions, because they don't have an equal sign. Anyway, so um, these are powers of 10. Basically, a power of 10 will be any number that is 1 with a bunch of zeros after it, right? So this 10 is 10 to the 1 power. 100 is 10 squared. 1,000 is 10 to the third. And 10,000 is 10 to the fourth. And basically, what these numbers mean, these are exponents, okay? And hopefully I drew them all right. This one's a little not great, but basically, they're like little numbers that are just to the right of the number. And what an exponent means is it's right. So 10, obviously, every number is to the first power, right? So 10 to the first power. We don't really need to worry about this one. No one's going to write 10 to the first power. But what it means for 10 to the second power, that actually means, or 10 squared is another way of saying to the second power squared, just means 10 times 10. Now 10 to the third, or another way of saying to the third is cubed, just means 10 times 10 times 10. And to the fourth, obviously, would be 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Now, what this means for powers of 10 is basically the number that the exponent is how many zeros come after the 1. So 10 to the 1 power, you wouldn't really write that, is just 1 0 after the 1. 10 to the 2, or squared, is 2 zeros. 10 to the 3 is 3 zeros. 10 to the 4 is 4 zeros, right? And the reason that is because that's what it just means 10 multiplied by itself this many times. And that's what it comes, what the answer is for 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 is 1 with however many zeros 10 is multiplied by itself with, right? 10 multiplies by 10 that many times. So it'll just be 4 zeros for 10 to the fourth. Anyway, so that's a basic overview of exponents and to the power, right? So you could say this is 10 to the power of 2, 10 to the power of 3, 10 to the power of 4. Anyway, so let me show you how to do these equations. So 23 times 10. All I'm doing is I'm multiplying 23 times 1, which is 23, and then I'm adding however many zeros there are here. So this one is 230, right? 230. Now 23 times 1 is 23, and then I'm going to add 2 zeros. So this one is 23, and then add 2 zeros. This one I'm adding the 3 zeros here. So 23, 0, 0, 0. So 23,000. This one I'm adding 4 zeros. So that would be 230,000. Okay, so it's quite easy. All you're doing is basically adding the zeros from here. I also want to just mention, let's just say that it was 60 times 100. I'm just going to multiply 6 times 1 is 6, and then I'm going to add all of the zeros from both numbers. So this is 1, 2, 3 zeros that I have to add. 1, 2, 3. So I just wanted to mention that if there's zeros at the end of both numbers, you're going to end up adding both of them, the zeros from both numbers. All right, and let's just go to this one. So 7 times 6 equals 42, right? And then all I'm doing is 7 times 6, and then I'm adding the 0. So 7 times 6 is 420, because I'm adding 1 0. 7 times 6 equals 4,200 or 4,200. 7 times 6, so 7 times 600 is 4,200. 7 times 6,000 would be 42,000. And 7 times, because I'm adding the 3 zeros, this is 4 zeros, so it would be 42, and then add the 4 zeros, so 420,000. Let's see. One thing I do want to mention that can be a little tricky is, let's do 5 times 800. Now 5 times 8 is 40, okay? But then we have to add 2 zeros to that for this, so it actually becomes 4,000. And this might look a little weird because it has 3 zeros, but actually we're just multiplying these two numbers, which gives you the 40, and then adding the 2 zeros. So just make sure if the numbers that you are multiplying, if that ends in a 0, then you still need to add these 2 zeros, and there will be more zeros, right, than you're adding. So I just wanted to mention that, because some people might just put a 4 and then just add 2 zeros and think that this is 400, which is not the case, because you have to answer 40 and then add 2 zeros. So it would be 4,000. So hopefully that gives you a basic idea of exponents, specifically to the power of 10, as well as how to multiply by powers of 10. I also do want to mention that this, with these exponents, only works for powers of 10. Like if I were to do 6 squared, that doesn't become 60. That becomes 6 times 6, which then actually equals 36. And then if I were to do 6 cubed, or to the power of 3, it would be 6 times 6 times 6. So just to be clear, I just wanted to differentiate those things and just make sure that you didn't think that this was 6 squared and this was 6 to the third. But all right, hopefully that is helpful.